Okay.
He's
He's not. Alex not on the camera, is he?
Welcome to Fix It and Flip It. The current real estate market is ripe for rehabbing. If you want to learn how to buy the right property at the right price and learn how to project and control costs, then you've come to the right place. Our host, Tony Raffin, is from the #1 Rematch team in southeastern Michigan. And Kevin McClellan is Mr. Flipper Extraordinaire. Now, let's welcome Tony and Kevin. This is Fix It and Flip It.
Morning, Tom.
Morning, Kev.
I'm back in the studio.
How was your vacation?
Had a couple weeks off between the power outage and then going up north to Houghton Lake last week.
Yeah,
so
I never thought about that.
yeah,
You're
you
right.
held the fort down. I appreciate it. You look good. I watched you.
Thanks. You were watching me from up north on the lake.
Yeah, I was sitting by the lake at Houghton Lake on the North Shore there. Went up there with the family and nieces and nephews and mom and dad. We had a great time.
Do any water skiing, tubing?
Tubing, yeah. There's a funny story I'll get into later about the wakeboard my brother's not happy about, but it's set in my garage and everybody's up. We're sitting around the table eating one night. And they're like, man, I can't believe we can't find the wakeboard. Like, man, we really like that thing. And I think we left it in Maryland because my brother lived in Maryland. I go, the wakeboard's in my garage at home. And they all just looked at me like, you got to be kidding me.
Most people don't know your brother is a scientist.
He's a PhD.
PhD,
PhD biophysics. Yeah, runs his own lab down at UT Austin.
Yeah.
Genius.
And you make more money than him flipping
No,
houses.
I don't.
Not anymore.
He does very well. I mean, with his patents on these on clinical trial. I mean, I could get into all that.
Yeah,
but
it's all right.
He does very, very well in his own right. We're two different kinds of people. And my sister's a nurse and very successful. So yeah. But anyways, why don't you introduce our guest and let's get going.
Today's guest is we're gonna tag along last week's guest, Bob Hellman from San Diego. I would say I'm gonna, Kevin's flipper extraordinaire for here, but Johnny is the flipper from Flint. This guy flips properties like he don't even think twice. Buy, boom, in, out, done, bang, bang, bang.
What areas?
The Flint area.
Yeah,
John Zerka from
area,
Zerka
Jesse
Properties.
County. Yeah, Zerka Rental Homes.
And he bought a damn building right on Corona Boulevard. It's almost like an ice cream stand. You go in, you pay your rent. I mean, it's really what
I
it
remember
is.
you telling me about that a while back.
Yeah. Dude, this guy has a machine that I've never seen before. So I guess the best way to do this is let's start from the beginning. John, you're son of a Lebanese immigrant.
Correct.
Your mom and dad came here from Lebanon legally.
Correct.
Legally.
Legally.
Okay.
Legally.
Legally. Your dad worked at General Motors.
That is correct.
Your mom raised you guys.
Correct.
And then your dad started buying rental houses in Flint.
Yep.
And then he quit General Motors.
Well, he retired from General Motors.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah, he retired from General Motors. His side gig was rental homes.
Mm-hmm.
So
What year did he start buying them?
he started in '91.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not that long ago.
No,
in
not
the
that
grand
long
scheme of
ago.
things,
He started obviously when the market was a little bit higher than what it is now. He started it, and then it's like every year, summer break was working with Dad.
Yeah.
He taught us all the ropes, taught us how to do everything. Pretty much taught us everything that we knew.
So now you have a warehouse that's full of supplies.
Correct.
You pretty much have the same MO on every house. You use the
Yes.
same tile, the same
tile,
paint, the same
paint,
doors, the same
countertops,
locks.
same
Everything is the same.
Yes,
I was just telling
everything's the
somebody
same.
that the other day. They said, all your houses are kind of looking the same. I said, I mean, I'm in it to make money.
They're not
That's right.
next door to each other.
I'm in it
No.
to put together a beautiful home.
Right.
The same person ain't buying two of my houses
That's
and living
correct.
them at the same time.
Right.
So you keep it simple.
That's
Right.
correct.
You know, if you want to create a magazine or a TV show,
You're
then
making
fine.
me dizzy,
switch it
John.
up, right?
Correct.
You're
But,
making me dizzy. You're going back.
don't-
Kind of like your
it's-
swivelly chairs.
You have to get him a
I'm like,
different chair. But so, are you more of a? Are you a? I mean, tell people, are you more of a flipper? Are you more of a buy and hold guy? And you had a rental portfolio?
Well,
or you-
yeah, we have a large selection of rental portfolios. In the beginning, it was buying them low, holding them on, renting them out, and then we started probably 5 years ago. We've been doing flips for quite a while. Then we started flipping more.
Right.
Obviously now, the market's hot, so we're picking up a lot of business doing that more than we are.
In what areas
Rentals.
exactly? We know you're in Flint. We know
Yeah,
you got a
and,
ton of
and Genesee
properties.
and Genesee County.
Genesee County?
Yeah, and
Okay.
Genesee County primarily.
Gotcha.
Every once in a while, we'll go outside our boundaries, but we like to stay within our vicinity of.
How many rentals you got right now? in
We
your
have
portfolio?
over 300 homes.
Over 300.
Yeah,
Wow.
we're company owned. We don't manage them for other people. We just do our own properties.
Wow. So you have quite an infrastructure and
Oh,
office.
they're
and-
literally within a 2-mile radius, a 2-mile boundary.
Yeah.
We looked at 300 homes in 2 days, and it was like, okay, let's go to this house. And it's like he didn't need a map for anything.
No.
I'm looking on the map, which next? Nope, we're going here next,
Yeah.
here next. And he would drive us around. And I remember the second day I had the
Yeah,
flu.
you had the
remember,
flu.
I'm laying in the back of the truck.
Tony's laying in the back, like trying not to throw up outside the
I'm like,
window.
this is crazy. And it's like, I ain't going
so
inside.
I'm just driving down each street. It's like, yeah, that one's one of ours.
Yeah.
This one's one of ours. This one's one of ours.
Yeah. What are you focusing on now? I mean, are you looking for more? Do you have a long-term plan in terms of holding so many rentals, or is it kind of like a month by year kind of thing?
It's like a day by day
by day,
process.
day
you
by
know?
day thing.
Today I might not have a house. Tomorrow a house might hit the market, and we will go into competitive bidding and buy it.
Do you have buyers and exit strategies lined up every time you buy a house?
Every time. Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah, I mean usually when we don't, because I'm a real estate agent too.
Oh, you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, and we'll put it on the market within the first week. They're usually gone.
Really?
Yeah.
What price range up in the Genesee or Flint area?
We do anywhere between 70,000 to 170, 100, 200, probably under $200,000.
So these are owner occupants buying
Owner
these.
occupants buying these.
Wow.
They're not the rental portfolio is pretty much smaller,
Yeah,
older.
smaller, older houses, 2-bedroom, 3 bedrooms, anywhere from 600 to 1,000 square foot homes.
And the portfolio that you have was
It's
actually
affordable housing.
Yeah, affordable housing, but it was actually the stuff that was built for the military, not for the military.
No,
when
it's
when the-
for General Motors.
for General Motors,
it's
when the
like-
military when
Yeah,
they came
middle-
home
middle
from
class
the war,
homes, yeah.
middle class homes were built back in the 40s and 50s.
40s and 50s. The majority of our houses in the city of Flint are like 40s, 50s, and
Mm-hmm.
60s.
Wow.
Not really much in the 70s, but that was the boom. All the General Motor workers needed somewhere to go, and they're close to all the factories. And we had Buick City, we had Chevrolet, we had a V8 plant. So
What's going on with that new GM plant we were talking about 2 years ago that they were going to put $1 billion into the paint plant?
yeah, they redid the paint plant, and that one's up and running. And now they're just they're redoing their assembly, the whole assembly
Did
line.
that bring you more
Oh yeah.
renters?
Oh yeah, it's brought in like 700 more jobs. Lear just is open, and I just read a post the other day online. They're going to be hiring right around 600 to 700 people for employment. So that right there intact is going to boom our business because people are coming from out of town or whatever, getting paid $20 an hour, or whatnot. It's affordable housing.
So
Yeah,
now
where
they
can
got a
have
place to stay until they
yeah.
figure out where they're going to buy.
Yep.
And then he's already got the inn already there
Yep.
saying, look, I can even get you a house. What are you looking for?
Yep.
Let me get you approved. And then he buys a house. He flips it right to him, sells it to him, ready to go. So he's got an end user ready to go
A lot
already.
of the times, a lot of our tenants, they rent from us, so they're building up their credit scores
Right.
and whatnot, and showing faithful payments every month.
Sure.
And then we get them qualified, and then we just sell them a house. Sometimes we sell them the house that they're actually living in too.
What's your maintenance structure like? Do you have how many guys you got in terms of going around doing maintenance and things like that?
On our rentals, we probably got about 8 guys right now working on our rentals consistently, and then I do it because I don't. I do.
When there's enough, when
I do.
When
I actually enjoy doing
when
it.
those guys are busy, you jump
Yeah.
in the truck and grab
Well,
the tools and go around.
that's it. I go around.
Yeah.
I'm usually driving around with my trailer, going to pick up garbage from all these houses. But
Yeah, how's the city? How's it dealing? So I own all my whole rental portfolio is in the city of East Point. I decided to stick with one city, deal with one city hall, one judge for evictions and the court officers. How is the city of Flint or Genesee County in general dealing with in terms of all that?
it's not that bad.
They do the rental.
Oh yeah, we
certifications?
have to get licensed for all the homes, because we make all of our renters do water affidavits.
Oh really?
Yep. So each renter in the city of Flint has to pay $325 for the water deposit.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's not the way I would say it is.
slumming it.
No, I put it this way. They're not owner-occupied homes.
Correct.
And I've gone into some of them that have been clean. I've gone into some of them that make me sick.
Yep.
You've also told him, look, this place has got to get cleaned up or I'm
yeah.
throwing you out.
Yeah,
I mean, he's pretty.
You've seen it firsthand.
I've seen it firsthand.
Well, listen,
so,
that many properties that happens. I own 20,
mean,
I own 25, and
yeah,
I mean, I walk in
it's-
some of
it's
my
gonna-
properties.
It's
and,
going to happen.
you
I mean,
know.
you're going to walk into houses where you get bitten up by fleas, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you got some homeowners. I mean, some renters that treat it like it's they own the home and it's in immaculate
Doesn't that
condition.
just make you want to just cry? Doesn't it break you
Oh,
so
I
happy when you
love it.
pull up the property, the
I
lawn's
love it.
manicured and
It's
the
like sometimes
flowers
I almost
are
feel like I just want to give you the house.
Right.
I
I
know
was
what
just
I
going
mean.
to say
I know.
that.
Honest to God,
Yeah,
you're just so happy because you've never seen that property.
I
look as
know.
good as
You
it did.
appreciate
It's not even
Yeah.
theirs, and they take that good of
Yeah.
care of it. You almost feel a little sheepish, you know? You're like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
I think we
gosh."
go. I think the way I look at it is we always get disappointed when people don't appreciate the good things we do.
Correct.
So you try to give them a good place to live,
Correct.
a clean place to live, freshly painted, new carpet, this and that. And when somebody tears it apart, it eats you up. Yes, it's money, but it's. I think you being Lebanese,
Yeah.
okay.
It's a pride of ownership.
Yeah. With
It's the pride that we put into our homes
Right.
to make them look decent, so
You know,
we can
it's
have
a
nice families
So
living in them.
do you have a package that you're selling right now that we can tell our viewers about, or no? Are you holding everything that you got? Or?
I mean, I'm holding right now, but everything is for sale.
Okay.
I mean, we can.
It's interesting to talk investor to investor, right? Because I know the properties I'm holding for probably the next 20 or 30 years. They're really not for sale. I mean, unless
I do have some that are not for sale.
His theory was this. Now you bought a lot of homes for $5,000 and $6,000.
I mean, when the market tanked, we were buying because.
from 09 to 15, you probably bought.
Well,
how many
yeah,
homes
because
you
I'm
buy?
a real estate agent too, so I did the same thing as Tony did. We specialize in the REO world, so
You buy.
we buy and we see everything.
Right.
All the houses come past our desk.
Sure.
So we see it all. So if you see a good deal, we buy it.
Yeah.
And,
And,
with with the portfolio already started, and you're making money selling real estate already. You don't have to worry about making money. You just rack that
Well, hey,
portfolio.
and listen, all of us wish no one with where prices have shot up over the last
Right.
3 to
Oh,
4
yeah.
years. We all wish we had the funds back then, or,
yeah.
or
Well,
more
or
funds.
the
Correct.
smarts.
More funds,
Yeah, or the
yeah.
smarts.
Or the smarts to buy
You know.
more.
Well, if you
buy
consider
more.
your
Yeah.
portfolio, you averaged about $25,000-$30,000 a house.
Yeah, 20. Yeah.
Okay, he averaged $5,000 to $10,000 a house.
Sure.
So technically, your portfolio is actually like 75 of his.
Right. Right.
But if you think about his portfolio, what's your average house worth right now?
In the city?
Yeah,
In the city, they're probably anywhere between now 22 probably to 30.
22 to 30,000. That's on a wholesale level.
Correct.
If you retailed them out one at a time, 40,
Yeah, about anywhere from between 30 and 40.
30 and 40,000. So his thought process when he put when I originally met him, he was putting about half of them up for sale.
Yep.
So he goes, these houses I had, $5-10 into, I'm going to unload them for $25,000, and I'm going to wait for the market to tank again. And then I'm going to go buy back again
Right.
and
Do it all over
reload the
again.
portfolio back up.
Right.
So he's following the trend or staying ahead of the trend because he doesn't want to sell when the market tanks.
No.
So then our conversation led to the last time we were up in Flint for the week in Flint, which we practically lived there, going through all these houses and going nuts with investors from Wisconsin and San Diego and Florida. So we've had all these investors coming up because the portfolio was producing over 35% return.
Yeah, which is like totally unheard of.
Dude,
yeah.
it's like an ATM.
It's a no-brainer.
It's an ATM machine, is what it was.
It's a no-brainer.
Listen, I love the rentals. I love my rentals. I mean, there's days I want to sell them all and be done with
I
them.
mean,
but
there's
you
times
know,
now though, like if I have a nicer house that I have $20,000-$25,000 into, we'll put $20,000-$25,000 in rehab and sell it.
Right.
Well,
and make good money.
I want to hang on to that subject because that's the one I want to talk about. We were just talking about it before we walked in the studio. So he wanted to unload half the portfolio, continue with the cash flow, and then wait for the market to tank again, and then reload the portfolio back up. So he didn't want to unload the whole portfolio, just enough.
Well, he wanted to be liquid. I mean,
Yeah. Well,
listen, all of us.
You got to be cash heavy at that
all of
time.
us here, you just said it, right?
You gotta
I
be cash heavy when the
we're-
time is-
we're
when the time
all-
is ready to
We
buy.
saw what happened and how many properties we were able to buy, the
Correct.
net worth we were able to create from 2009 to 2000 and to present.
Yep.
And we want to be able to do that again.
Correct.
The thing is, will it tank like that? And can you buy properties for $5,000 in Flint? Can I buy properties for $9,000 or $15,000 in East Point? I don't know if we're ever going to get.
I don't know
back
if that's
down
ever
to
gonna
that.
I
down
don't
to that point.
see it happening in
Our lifetime.
Right.
because history does repeat itself, but I don't think it repeats itself
Not that
quick.
fast.
That's a
Correct.
huge
Not that
cycle.
fast.
Right,
That's going to
but
be
I
a
do
huge,
see
huge, big
another dip
cycle.
and as both of you guys know, Michigan never had a dip until really 09, 08,
Yeah.
09.
Yeah.
There was
Well,
always
Michigan
a few,
was one of the first states to dip.
Yep.
correct.
It was one of the first states to dip and one of the last ones to get back up on its toes.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
So-
General Motors pulled out
because
a lot.
General Motors,
You know.
Ford, all the automotive companies as
yeah.
they
The
pulled
trickle
out.
down effect is amazing, isn't it? With the big
It's
three, with the the
Unbelievable.
suppliers. It's not just the 10 or 20,000 employed by the big three.
No,
it's the whole cities.
Every tool and die shop and paint shop and body shop.
It's the cities. Like Flint at one time was one of the best cities to live in the whole United States.
Yeah, it was automotive
Now,
US, automotive city
it's
USA.
number 1 or 2 on the most dangerous cities in the United States.
I know.
Yeah,
Sad.
yeah. I think you were like number 2 that one you were
Yeah.
looking. So the guy from Colorado who wanted to buy the portfolio, and he was in at like 22.5 a property, which would have been a good capital gain for him. But the other guy, he was still making over 25% cash on cash return, and we were ready to pull the trigger, and then
What happened?
the Flint water
dun,
crisis.
Dum, dum,
Dum, dum, dum.
I mean, this is the guy we got to talk to about
Yeah, well,
what went through his head, and I mean, going through that.
And the funny part, talking to him about it, is his up and down cycle, and you've probably seen 3 or 4 of them already, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Since 1991, 3 or 4 up and down cycles, because he's not in a owner-occupied status, he's in a rental status. So that was probably alongside the recession of 2009. The Flint water crisis probably did more damage to your value of your portfolio than anything.
It did. It took it for a plunge.
I mean, when you first heard about it, and like you first hear the words like there's a major lead crisis.
Crisis.
I mean, what's the thought process? What plan in your mind did you say?
Before you answer that question, I was in his warehouse, and he had probably 1,000 cases of water that he provided to all his tenants. So he's not this slumlord son of a bitch that doesn't care about anybody.
Right.
You know, he really, I mean, they went out there and made sure everybody had
Well,
water.
it's a smart businessman. I mean, you want rents paid.
Well,
I mean,
that's our job as people's livelihood.
Sure.
Okay, we provide roofs over people's heads.
Right.
So also, along with providing roofs over people's head, we have to make sure their well-being is 100% also.
Right.
So I mean, it's not an issue that we created as homeowners. It's just the infrastructure of the whole water situation was bad. Once they pulled the trigger, once they stopped getting Detroit water and started going to Flint River water, the toxins in the water were higher, so it started breaking down the chemicals in the pipes.
Oh, it did.
That's what happened.
So,
Because when there's lead in
so
the
it's
pipes.
almost like a galvanized pipe.
It's
When you've got a galvanized pipe
It corrodes.
that water doesn't go through, it corrodes.
Yep.
Then it plugs up like an artery in a heart, like somebody who's having way too much butter. Okay, the pipes were lead pipes, and as the dirty water went through there, that chemical reaction with the lead released the lead.
It released the lead. I mean, us as homeowners, we replaced all of our plumbing from the house, from coming into the meter, into the house.
Repex it all, yeah.
But the problem.
Oh, you replaced them all?
Oh yeah, all
300 houses.
All of them.
Wow.
All of them. Well, half the houses we bought didn't have plumbing in them anyway.
Oh, okay.
When we bought them, so we had to do it either way.
Technicality. He's being honest.
Okay,
you know,
that's all right.
but-
Yeah. How do they say
I
that?
appreciate the honesty.
No, there's a term to be honest. No, there's another term.
I gotta, while we have the time, man, I gotta talk to John. I gotta get how he managed through. This is a crisis. This is a catastrophe. This
Yes,
is like
it was.
it's like a hurricane hitting a city. For him, this is news.
I mean, we just pulled together as a community.
But as a community, but as a business, and with millions of dollars tied up, you're I don't know if you have any partners or your team of guys. Like I have a team of guys. I mean, you guys had to have sat down and said, how are we keeping our tenants happy, safe?
It affected our business. I
Yeah.
mean, there'd be times when we had 20, 30 houses vacant, and we couldn't even get a phone call for rent.
Wow.
That's a lot of cash flow.
It's a lot of cash flow. I mean,
an average of
think
six.
about
That's like
the loss.
$18,000 a month lost.
Think
Correct.
about that loss, plus property values went down because of it.
Oh,
But hold on. If you're not selling, property values going down mean nothing.
Correct.
on paper.
On paper, and as long as you're getting income, nobody really cares.
But it made worldwide news.
Oh yeah, you guys were on the front page and the TV screens
and
of
the whole
everyone
world.
around the world.
That's the thing. That's why I gotta ask these questions because he went through it.
It's not because I didn't want to sell them. It's stuck in everybody. Once they hear Flint, boom, water crisis.
How many calls did you get from tenants saying I ain't paying rent because my water?
Oh, a lot.
You know,
A lot. And what do you do?
And you couldn't do anything about it.
And I can do nothing about it.
It
So
wasn't
what-
your fault. The line was coming from
so,
the street.
So what
the city made a
what do you
horrible
do?
decision.
This very horrible
and
decision.
poisoned their residents.
Of
right?
course
I
it
mean,
did.
So whose fault was it eventually? They
I mean,
proved?
it was the mayor's fault, you know.
The mayor of Flint, not the governor.
The governor. Sorry, yeah.
They said it was the governor?
Yeah, it was the governor that pulled the switch from tapping in from Detroit water to the city
Oh, my God.
to the
Wow.
Flint water. Yeah.
wow.
Wow.
So how are things now? I mean, it seems like that's died down a bit. There's still water.
It's quieted down. Now they're getting so many grants through the government and whatnot, so they're replacing the pipes coming in from the street to the home.
Right.
So they're digging all that out, putting all new piping.
Are
in.
you saying once they switched the water back to the Detroit City water,
Did they do that?
Yeah.
that's what they did?
did do that.
The chemical reaction, the lead started going away?
Well, it wasn't going away because the damage is already done. So
Yes.
now what they do is they're replacing the pipes from the street to the home,
one at a time.
one at a time. Well, they do blocks at a time.
Wow.
They're still doing them. I mean, I got houses right now. I still get letters in the mail every day. Say, hey, at this specific date, at this specific property, we're going to be replacing your.
So
your
what do you
pipes.
do with the tenant the day? Do you put him in a hotel for the day?
No. They do disrupted probably for a couple hours.
Oh,
once they-
that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So,
Oh yeah, backhoe, dig the line, boom, boom,
That's
probably
it.
3-4
That's
hours,
it.
boom, put some
And
PVC,
yeah.
schedule 40 in, and
Yeah.
and be done
they
with
just
it,
pump and dump.
or whatever. I'm thinking of a drain line, but yeah.
Well, I'm
Copper
sure
line.
they use like
New
a,
copper
I'm
line
sure
and
they
go.
didn't put copper lines in. I'm sure they're using that plastic.
Honestly, I never watched someone do it yet.
Wow. But that means the main water lines coming down the street are replaced also.
It's clean water lines now. I mean, now a lot of these houses are having really nice, fresh, clean water.
I was gonna say it might take a couple more years here, but at that point, you almost rebuilt the infrastructure underground of the,
Yeah.
of the
So-
city.
yeah, I
you
think
know,
the whole infrastructure would
It
be done.
is, and it's getting nice and cleaned up. A lot of the dilapidated houses are getting torn down and cleaned up. Vacant lots now they're like the
Starting new construction again.
not so much new construction, but they're just getting rid of the old. Like big businesses coming in, yeah, but not really many new homes are being built in the city.
Well, it's not really a new home area.
How
is
is it leaving a house vacant with no tenant? You're like, I don't know. A lot of people when they hear Flint, they think of like a mini Detroit. I mean, I hate to say it. I don't know if that's accurate or not.
It is.
But so I know I've done a couple houses on the outskirts of Harper Woods and Grosse Pointe in Detroit, and I mean I can't turn around and leave the house without the hot water tank and furnace walking away.
Yeah.
It's the
What's,
same thing over
I
there.
mean, I had one stolen the other day from me.
Did you?
It's just part of doing business.
It's part of doing business. Yeah, we don't cry about it. Move on, right?
But
Call
I
the
mean,
guy up when you
honestly,
want it.
yeah, like whenever the houses are empty, my brother and I, because my brother and I run the company, and my father, we just drive by, make sure none of the windows are broken or the doors are kicked in.
and you appreciate your Second Amendment rights.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Let me tell you, you walk into his place and
Oh,
there's,
we're
there's
loaded.
it looks like a freaking military arsenal. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And it's like, we got cash.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
be, you know,
We got
you
cash,
got to be
we got
prepared.
property, you know.
Yeah.
High
But I
value-
mean, literally, right on Corona Boulevard, it looks like an ice cream parlor.
Well, don't
You-
give 'em the
Well, it used to be old Domino's.
An old, you
Don't
walk
give
up.
him the address. I mean,
No,
let's not put a target on the guy.
No, you can't. Listen, I invite somebody to go there. They're in trouble.
They probably invited.
Yes.
Yeah, come
You know
on
what?
in. Come on.
You know, I met the. You know what is funny? Yesterday, I met the owner of. Wow, I can't even think of the name of the place.
I can't help
What's
you
the name
out.
of
I
the
can't
place
help
on
you
9
out.
and Mac? Why can't I think of
9
it? The
and
hamburger
Mac.
place.
9 and Mac.
Right
Oh,
on-
Travis.
Travis. So I met the owner of Travis last night. He's about 85
What are you
years
doing
old.
eating at Travis?
It
late
wasn't
night?
at Travis,
Oh,
but those are
you just
late.
said you met the owner.
No, those are those 3:00 in the morning runs after you leave the bar
Yep.
or a party or whatever. You got to go grab a bag of 30 burgers for the kids
Yeah.
because you know you're going to wake them up when you get home.
Oh yeah.
I met the guy and I said, you know, my wife and I like going to your place after a night out dancing or whatever. We're at the club and whatever. We have a ball, but we never been there during the day. I says, it's only usually around 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah, agreed.
And he starts laughing. He goes, from 12 to 6, enter at your own risk. So I'm giving them the same thing at John's place. Enter at your own
Yeah.
risk.
Yeah.
But he's got this machine that is absolutely. I mean, we've probably spent a month together,
Oh, yeah.
you know, with showing properties
Oh,
to
yeah.
people, and most of the people are afraid.
Yeah.
They don't understand
It
it.
intrigues them. They're tire kickers a bit. I mean, they're
I think that a
interested,
lot of
but-
them were tire kickers. We
Yeah.
had one pension fund, the original one that was ready to go,
Yep.
and they were nickel and diamond. And you should have sold it to him. You
Shoulda,
should have
woulda,
sold
coulda.
it to him because then you could have bought them all back from him
Yeah.
when he ended up losing them. They ended up losing everything that they had, and he could have ended up buying it back. and recreating the portfolio. So that was the whole idea, to ride the wave. So when it's up, you sell. When it goes back down, you buy. And then when it's up, you sell. And what does he do in the meantime? He does what we talk about, fix it and flip it.
Correct.
So going back to fix it and flip it, tell us about this deal we were just talking about when we walked in.
So about 5 years ago, I bought a house, and it was a foreclosure. No kitchen cabinets, no flooring or whatnot. So I bought it for $16,000.
In Flint?
In Flushing, outside.
Flushing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So suburb, which is
It's a
way
suburb.
better.
Oh yeah. And we put probably $10,000 into it, remodeling it, all new electrical, plumbing, kitchen floors.
$10,000, that's it?
$10,000. Yeah. Can I hire you?
And it wasn't that big of a house,
I
so
know, I
it
get
didn't
you.
cost
And you're
that
doing the
much.
work, you
And-
guys.
and we're doing a lot of the work, so we save a lot of money there too. I rented out for 5 years for $850 a month.
Okay.
So I probably got my money back 3 times.
Yeah.
And we got it pending right now for over $100,000.
I mean, you can't. Where do you make that kind of return?
Well, that's the
Couple
thing.
100%
It's
return on your money.
either you keep the house as a rental, and it's gonna take you 12 years to recoup that money that you're gonna make
Sure.
in 3 months.
Yeah.
I deal with that now.
So
I just
it's a hard toss up. I mean, where do you?
I bought a property in East Point the other day. $50,000 for a 1,200 square foot brick bungalow, basement, 2-car garage. I mean, right now the thing is worth 90.
Yeah.
Eh,
Yeah.
Do I sell it and put $30,000 in my pocket? Or do I get $1,200 a month for the
Yeah.
next 20, 30 years?
It's hard-
And there's
it's a
no good
hard
answer,
toss-up.
right?
There
As an
really isn't,
investor,
because I mean, you can have that income coming in every month because you're gonna get a higher dollar house, you're gonna get higher dollar clientele.
Yeah.
My grandfather taught me something years ago that I don't know if it really makes sense, but he would never sell anything. He would hold every property he ever had.
it's
he
called a
held.
hoarder.
Well, it probably is, because he held it until, Forrest and McDougal went to shit.
Right.
Okay. And literally it went right down in the gutter, and the houses are burned down. And he owned the whole street. He owned like 12 houses on the street. He owned everything. And he owned the store, the party store in front. So not only did they come and buy all their party supplies, their beer and
They
wine,
paid the rent at the same time.
and they go pay the rent
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah.
And they lived right behind the store in the one. Then Uncle Batista lived in another one, and Uncle Sam lived in another one. And at the end of the day, he waited for it to run into the ground. So if you don't know the neighborhood properly and you wait for it to run into the ground, those high values disappear. So that's where John comes to the table and he says, look, here's where the economy's going today. This is what I'm going to do today. So he can change from rental
Yeah.
to fix it and flip it.
Well, I mean, us,
in a
us as
heartbeat.
real estate agents, we number crunch a lot. So we watch the market pretty hard.
Correct.
So if I see the values of properties slowly declining, that's when I know when I need to start buying again.
Right.
And then once I watch it for another 6 or 7 months, if I see it going up 1%, 2%, 3% a month, it's time to start rehabbing those houses and put them up for sale
Yeah.
because the market's coming.
Right.
Without a
So
doubt.
you hit it with the hard.
Well, yeah, because you have all the comps to support your values.
So obviously, getting back to the crux of the show, I mean, you're a realtor, you're an investor.
Correct.
When somebody comes to you and says, I mean, I'm sure you know a ton of people.
Oh, yeah.
From what Tony says, you got
Oh, yeah.
friends all over the place and whatnot. So when somebody comes to you and says, I want to get into real estate, I want to flip houses.
Yeah.
What do you tell them? What is
Come
what
on,
is
I'll
your
help you.
advice?
Oh, well, we're not greedy. I love to help people because we like to see people flourish.
Right.
Because if you're gonna buy a house, I'll be a real estate agent, so
Right,
I'll make
right.
a commission on that side.
I guess in terms of do you feel like you have an obligation to mentally prepare them for what they're going to go through for their first flip, their first big renovation?
I'm pretty blunt, so I tell them exactly what when.
He's like
As do
he's
I.
like us.
Yeah.
I'm just blunt. I'm just gonna tell you. If somebody's gonna tell you a $20,000 rehab is gonna be $10,000, they're lying to you, and they're just trying to get your commission money out.
Right.
Because if they make money on the first flip, they're gonna come back for the second, third, and fourth, and fifth.
Yes.
Sure, without a doubt.
So you're like us. It's the relationship
you
means
have
more.
to build exactly it. You have
Yeah.
to build a good rapport and good relationship.
That's how me and Tony are. He'll bring me a house. I'll say no. I'll look at the numbers. I'll say no. There's
I
our
brought you 3 so far. You said no to every
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah.
I've still sold them,
Right.
but those
It's no
people are
hard
not
feelings.
going to they're not going to make the money that you
You know my margins. You know what my
Yes.
numbers got to be. You respect that.
Yep.
And you know that when we do a deal, everybody's going to be happy. at the
Everybody,
end,
yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know?
Yeah.
My margins are might be higher than what one of your other investors that you work with
Right.
is okay with. They might do the work themselves. I don't.
Right.
I got labor involved. you
Oh,
know?
we
I
have
mean,
some people
but-
that take a year to flip a house.
But
where,
but it depends how much inventory you have too as a flipper.
Sure.
If
Sure.
if you have one house and you have your guys sitting
Sitting
there
working. Yep.
sitting there not working, you're gonna take a house that you only know you're gonna make $10,000, but you know what? $10,000 is better than making $0.
Dude,
Well, that's-
I just had that happen. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I bought one about 6 months ago. It comes in waves, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
These houses all, even with listings and buyers, everything comes. Nothing is ever. We all want it nice and smooth.
It never happens.
It never happens. It's in waves.
I
And
wish it happened like
yeah,
that.
I know. Life would be a lot easier.
Oh, yeah.
But I had the same thing. I bought one. Wasn't crazy about it. Thought I could maybe eke out 20, 25K, and it was a nightmare. Kept my guys busy though for 3-4 months. I'm gonna make 10 grand on it. I'm not happy about it.
But that's the key though. You got to keep your guys busy, because if you don't keep them busy, they're gonna go somewhere else.
You lose
And
them.
especially now,
It's
with
hard to find because
hard
there's
to
so
find
much
work.
new constructions
do
going
you still
up.
have your same guys or no? You're switching guys a lot.
Well, we're hiring more,
Hire more.
We're
Trying to
hiring
keep
more.
the guys you have and hire
Yeah,
more.
and hire more.
But I bet you're paying them a little more. And
which is fine as
Yeah.
long as they produce and get the job done in a decent time.
Are your rents up over the course of the last couple of years?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit.
I know you had to give a little bit up for water
I mean,
prices
we have to. I mean, for a long time we were charging no deposits just to
just to get them in.
to get them in.
get the house occupied.
Yeah.
Get some rent coming in.
What's your rental your occupancy rate right now?
Right now we're probably at 95% occupied.
Wow, so
Wow.
that's
Oh, yeah.
good.
The rental market's just.
How about you, Kev?
I'm 100%. I got 3 houses that I just can't get to because I'm busy doing flips that are sitting there that need to be, new carpet, new paint, and get rent ready. I got people lined up for them, but just a matter of like him.
Yeah. It's
I
just
got,
hard
8,
finding-
9 guys, but I got 5 huge renovations going on.
I
and
got
it's just-
one, and it's a pain in the ass.
Well, the problem is the market's booming so much that these guys are getting top dollar to go work for people. Not saying that we don't pay top dollar, but
right. But
I'm
the
having-
individuals.
we
I'm
have
having to pay my guys well.
we have to be on a
very
budget
well.
too in order for us to make it so they can go to their next job and you know what I mean from us.
Well, at least you know that your guys are going to work tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Where if they go on their own, they may not have a job tomorrow.
Well,
They may not have
that's the biggest
staying
way you're
power.
losing guys is they go work for somebody else. Somebody headhunts them, right? Another investor comes and says, "Come work with me. I'll give you $5 more an hour, right? I'll give you $25."
Job's
an hour."
over and they're out of business.
Or they go work for a company,
Yeah.
or they go do their own thing, their own renovation. They think they can now put a new kitchen in and all the electrical and everything else, and they hack it together and screw it up and come back and work for you.
Yep.
A couple months later.
it's happened. I mean, we've had a guy come back twice. So.
Yeah, and you need them, right?
And I
You got
need 'em. I was
property
like,
sitting
thank God,
otherwise
come back.
you're like, damn it, I'm principal. I should not have this guy back,
Yeah.
but I
But
have
thank you,
to.
God.
Yeah.
But damn it, I'm glad he's back.
What do you see coming up? I mean, what's on your radar? Not and I know you were asking me about Detroit flips and stuff like that, but you know that it's out of your area.
Yeah.
And honestly, because one of the first things Kevin says, we had a guy with us, or last weekend Hellman was on the air, Bob Hellman, and then a few weeks we had Sean Whalen on the phone.
Yeah.
And Sean's flipped 4,000 houses.
crazy.
In
That's
like
crazy.
21 states.
That's crazy.
So first thing Kevin says is you need boots on the ground. How do you feel about that?
I agree. You got to have boots on the ground anywhere you go.
Hands on.
What's your radius? Your circumference that you expand in terms of traveling to
Like
take a
right now,
property?
I stick it within Genesee County because it's close to home base.
20, 30 minutes.
Yeah,
I mean,
by about
max.
20, 30 minutes.
I thought, weren't you trying to find something in West Bloomfield at one time?
One time I was looking at one down there.
Yeah, but it was a big one.
That was
Right.
that was more of a project than I wanted to pick
Yeah, it's
up.
like Kevin's got a big one right now. How many square feet, Kev?
8,000.
8,000 square feet.
Do you find yourself profitable with houses like
He doesn't
that?
know
I
yet.
tell you what, ask me in about 90 days. Honestly, everybody keeps saying, "You going to do another one of these?" I'm like, I'm not even done with this one.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know what it's going to sell
I
for. I don't know how long it's going to sit on the market.
I don't know that I'd buy a house of that.
You know what? It was a
caliber.
bucket list thing. It was a challenge.
It was an ego thing for you.
It is. It's an
It was an
ego thing,
ego
but-
thing
but,
for
you know,
you
it's
to
like-
say, I made blank amount on a flip.
It's not. It's not.
Well,
you know me better than that.
I know you better than that, but
It's
there's
can
an
I,
ego
can,
thing.
it's can
you
I
do it?
conquer? Can I climb this mountain? Can I
Yeah.
get this
I mean, you
project
can climb
done?
it, but the problem is with that, I would never do a house of that caliber. Why? Because you're limited to your buyers, number one.
Yeah.
That's true.
Number two, it's taking you 6-7 months to redo the house.
9, yeah, we're
Oh,
at
9.
10
You're at
months
9
right
months,
now,
so you're going to be a year until the whole
Yeah.
house is complete.
Yeah.
How many smaller homes at $150,000 can you have done at the same time to make 4 or 5 times as much money as you can make off this one flip?
I mean, I'll
But,
be able-
that, but
I'll-
that's
yeah.
the question that I ask myself.
Well, listen, I went through those same thought processes. Normally, I walk in a house in 60 seconds, and I tell Tony whether I'm buying it or not. This
Correct.
house I walked through 5 times. I've thought about it. I like the structure. I like the price. I liked what I could resell it at. I felt like I could handle it. But even if I make what I hope to make on it, I don't know if I'll do another one.
Yeah,
But I'll answer that when it sells.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it works out.
I've been able to keep all my other little ones going. My biggest thing was don't have that one stop my $50, $100, $150, $250,000 homes. And I've been able to keep those going by taking on some investor funds and leveraging, my other properties.
See, that whenever I look for a house to flip, I look for the middle class. So that way I know I'm not going to have a problem putting it on the market within a week or less, having it sell pending full price.
Well, I agree with you.
Yeah.
The 100,
that's why like an 8,000 square foot house, I mean, you're probably talking
4 buyers.
If you're lucky, 5%.
Yeah.
Yeah, there might be a handful of people in that market.
5%. You're crazy. No. It's a handful.
But he hit the nail on the head. We put $130,000 property on the market in St. Clair Shores.
It's gone in a day.
Yeah.
If it's nice.
Yes.
I mean, hell, even if it's not nice.
I sold a house the other day. I wasn't even done working on it. The lady's like, I want to write a purchase agreement right now.
We've had that happen
right now. And I wasn't. I still have another week left to get it done.
Right.
And she's like, full price, I'll buy it right now.
That's awesome.
Sold.
Well, what's
awesome.
funny is as real estate agents, what's the one thing that we always try to do? We always try to find the biggest buyer pool. I think the same thing should go with flips. Where's the best buyer pool for what you've got? Not just because, but you did steal the property, so that was the reason that you took on the deal.
Yeah, I thought I can't lose. My whole thing going into is as long as I'm not going to lose on it, I'll take that gamble. I'll take that chance because I know what the upside is.
Right.
If the worst case scenario is I break even to live another day, recoup the money. So
as long as you recoup your money, you're good. Obviously, that's not what we're in business for.
No, we're not. But worst case,
it's
end of the world.
It's a little challenging. Every once in a while, we
So,
like
question
challenges.
for you, John: have you ever lost money on a property?
I have lost money on a property.
Kevin, have you ever lost money on a property?
Not yet.
Okay. You got 100
yet.
flips under your belt.
120.
120 now. Okay.
Yeah.
It mine wasn't on a flip though. Mine was on a rental house.
On a rent. Okay.
On a rental
All right. Well,
Technicality. Judges. No, he hasn't lost. He has not lost.
It wasn't a big loss, but I've lost.
How disciplined Tony knows how disciplined
Kevin is
I
disciplined.
am.
Let me tell you something. Kevin does not spend money.
I hate spending money.
You ain't the only one.
No.
Looks
No,
better in my
dude.
pocket than somebody else's.
Dude, I'm telling you, you don't see him with a fancy watch. You don't see him with jewelry.
Yeah.
You don't see him with he does have an R8, okay?
I like nice cars.
Yes, but that was
nothing wrong with it.
But you said
I got
after,
white tennis shoes on, jeans, t-shirt every day. Yeah.
every day. That's what he wears.
When I go to work, I look worse than some of the employees look.
Exactly.
People ask me what I do for a living. Sometimes I tell them I'm a garbage man. That's all I do.
I'm a handyman. I'm just going to work in this house.
But
I
I think what this brings to the table is showing people that
You're not afraid to work.
well, forget not afraid to work. You started with nothing,
Yeah.
and you turned it into something. You turned it into. I mean, look at you guys, 300 houses.
Yeah.
Kevin started with a lawnmower,
Yeah.
and he took his lawnmower and started cutting grass. And then you had how many lawnmowers, Kevin? 5?
Yeah.
5 lawnmowers and some trailers and accounts. And he sold that business, and he took the money that he sold that business from and bought a rental house.
Smart man.
Then he borrowed against that rental house to buy the second rental house.
Yep.
Then he borrowed against the second rental house to buy the third rental house. And then he started flipping a house, and the profit would buy another house.
Correct.
Flip a house, the profit would buy
But
another
it took
house.
time, and I'm sure
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure John can attest
takes
to
a lot of time.
It's real estate. I
does.
tell everybody, man, it's slow.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
If
it's
you make
not,
your
it's
money
not, it's not
quick,
overnight.
it will disappear quick.
Say that again.
If you make quick money, it
Sure,
will
easy come,
quickly-
easy go,
Oh,
without a
all
doubt.
day long.
Without a doubt.
All day
All right.
long.
So, Kevin, you've been doing this now for 8 years?
8 years. Yeah.
8 years. You've got 25 properties, and you flipped 120 homes.
Yeah.
And you're a full-time police officer. Actually going back to work here.
Yeah. Yeah. Soon. I was supposed to go back Sunday, but that just got put on hold. I got to go see one of their doctors now. I don't know why, but I got a couple more weeks off than I thought.
But had you not had this rental portfolio, excuse my French, you'd be up Schitt's Creek without a paddle.
Tony, I honestly thought about that the other day. I thought about that the other day because the last year and a half I didn't get paid.
No check.
No
check off
And
on
I pay- and I
disability.
paid my
Couldn't
own
do
insurance.
anything, and you had to pay your own
Yeah.
insurance.
If I had no other source of income, I don't know what I would have done.
Well,
Right.
I'd
That's
be
like
living.
us.
I'd be living back at home with mom and dad.
That's like us.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
Still might be coming back.
we depended on REOs.
Well, that's what we did.
That's what we did.
Mm-hmm.
Now that the REOs are gone, if you're not selling real estate or flipping a house or have rentals,
Right.
we don't get a check neither.
Right, that's true.
So, I mean,
I've got technically 2 rentals. My building, which is like 7 rentals, and then my one rental house, which I hate, but
It's like we've always talked about, have different sources of income. You have your realtor
You have
commissions,
to.
you have your rentals, you have your flips,
Yep.
right? I mean,
Yep.
have 3 to 4 different
You have
avenues
to.
of cash and income coming in, you know?
Are you still doing REOs?
yeah, I do probably 2 or 3 a month. Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a little increase in
Is
it.
it?
Yeah, but it's I wouldn't say I wouldn't say it's knocking the pants off of anything right now. And they're getting top dollar right now, so
Yeah.
there's not an overflow, and the values are still there.
Yep.
So I think it's going to bring some opportunity for some people. But some of the asset managers just don't understand. They overvalue things because you've got an appraiser that comes in
We're out of
and says,
town.
"Oh, it's worth $100,000," and it's like, dude. This house doesn't have anything in it. It's boarded up. It's going to cost you $100 just to fix it, and it's only worth $130 when it's done. You're out of your gourd. But then you've got the amateurs that come in from out of state, and they see that it's a possible deal. Like we had a property in River Rouge, a 2-family, $5,000. Must have showed that property 120 times.
I believe it.
Nobody gets it. It wasn't worth the $5,000. Finally, the city says, you're not selling it to anybody. Right when we gave it away to a veterans committee that was going to take the house, refurbish it, and put veterans in the house, the city didn't care. Nobody's taking that property over. You're tearing it down. We don't care what you did with it. I don't care what nonprofit got it. I don't care who you're helping. That house is coming down.
Wow.
So we get the junk and we get the decent stuff, but I think the decent stuff is still a little pricey. Kevin, when's the last time you bought a foreclosure now? Not really.
No, it's been a minute. A lot of just off the market stuff, you know,
Yeah,
for the
same here.
relationships that, you know,
Yeah.
my realtors have
Yeah.
with their clients, and a property
I've
comes in the
been seeing
estate.
a lot of estates.
Yeah.
Estates, that's what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
Right.
off the market,
Yep.
estates.
Yep.
Somebody
Yeah.
passes away, the family doesn't want people trashing through the house.
I guess that's what I was getting back to when people say, "Get me a house and I want to flip it. I want to try flipping a house." It's like, man, it's just not that easy.
It's not. Everybody thinks, because they see you doing it.
Finding the property though, it's
Finding
like
the
5
property
years
is
ago,
hard.
you could be like, all right, go to the MLS and
Yeah.
be like, where do you want to
you
get
can be
one
choosy.
at? Yeah,
You can be
yeah.
choosy 5 years ago.
Yeah, not anymore.
Now it's like you take what you get or don't take nothing at all.
Right. And
Yeah.
then you're
What's your worst
competing.
horror story besides hearing?
Oh my God, that's great. I forgot all about that because we always ask for the horror
Yeah,
stories.
we always ask for the horror story.
Da-da-da.
Besides finding out the entire city that you have all your homes in is, it's just been, polluted.
Yeah.
The one time, so we went to go show a house,
Right.
and the side door was open.
Your house?
One of our rentals.
Okay, one of your rentals.
And the side door was kicked open. So I'm sure you probably had that
Oh,
problem
yeah.
before.
Just had it happen.
And there was a squatter sleeping inside the house. So go wake him up, and I said, hey, what the hell are you doing here? We exchange some words, and then I told him, I said, if you come back over here, dude, there's gonna be a problem. So
And Johnny's a big boy. As you can see, most of our listeners can't see it, but
Well,
you guys on YouTube, you can see it.
6'5",
6'5".
270 pounds.
He's a big son of a bitch, okay? And I'll tell you, when he talks to his tenants,
Yeah.
he's very polite and he's very kind. But just his stature
Sure.
tells you enough that this man means frickin' business.
Yeah. If I'm knocking on your door, rent's due. Anyways, so I said, if I see you back over here again, there's going to be a problem. So I made it a point to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning the next morning.
You mean you let him stay?
No. I kicked him out, boarded
you
up the
kicked-
door.
Oh, okay.
I made it a point to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go drive by that same house to make sure the door was still boarded up. So I drove by. The side door was boarded up. The front door was kicked open, but it was closed. But I could see a little bit of light through the cracks of the door jamb. I said, all right.
Not now that adrenaline started going,
Yeah, I
right?
said-
5
I
a.m.,
said-
man.
I said, all right. I said,
Police
all right.
mode. Trust me, I know how it is when you show up and you hear possible
You know
B&E
how
and
it
that
is.
door's open, man. It's like,
know
Well,
how
you
it
guys
Alright.
both carry, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you
So
don't think twice.
I went in there guns blazing.
Yeah.
Seeing the guy there, he got up. I body slammed him to the ground, put my gun in his face. The guy pisses his pants. I said, you didn't, realize what I told you yesterday was is coming to life now.
Yeah.
And so I just pretty much scared the shit out of him.
He got the hint?
He got the hint.
I'm
So
gonna guess he
I
didn't come
called. I
back.
called the cops. The cops asked, this guy's cut. Where's there blood? I said, I came into the house and I don't know if he cut himself on the
Yeah.
door or whatnot, but
Yeah.
I told the guy today's your lucky day.
Yeah,
Wow.
today's his lucky day.
Wow.
Horst, I mean, listen.
How many guys, like I said, he didn't come back?
But-
No,
That was
I never seen the guy walking the street again.
never seen him in the city. I never seen him in Flint.
He left Flint.
I've never seen him again
He
in my
left
life.
the state. He's
You
telling
know?
that story probably down in Florida somewhere. To some guy right now. This guy woke up. He's 6'5".
It's a lot. It's a lot warmer over there, you know. So, oh
yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
Well, dude, it was great having you here,
I
John.
appreciate
We'd
you
love
coming
to
here.
have you back again.
I want to come back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
For
and,
sure.
and
I
you know
want
what?
to.
Bring Ryan and Danny.
I will.
His
Who's
brother, his brother-in-law,
My brother-in-law, my brother.
and his
Oh, okay.
brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all part of the operation.
Oh, dude,
Yep.
we could sit around and tell stories for
Yeah, actually,
hours.
My brother-in-law has a podcast too. Offensively
does he?
Challenged. Yeah.
Oh, we should go on his.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Oh,
go.
well,
Dude,
up
I'm
there,
telling you,
you know?
next,
Where's he doing
next,
it?
I think his buddy does it out of his house in Lansing.
Oh, out of his house.
Yep. So next time I'll bring him down with me and
Oh, that'd be great. Love to do
We'll
it.
shoot the
Love
shit.
to do it.
Different markets, you know. A lot of guys, a lot of investors down in this area aren't going to go up to Genesee County.
well, he
and,
he does all sports. His podcast.
Oh,
It's not even
I'm
about
sorry.
rentals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No.
Gotcha.
This is
Gotcha.
fun.
It's all right.
Hell,
It's
I
just a
like
podcast.
sports. I'll do sports. I don't care. I still want to get on.
Well, John, listen. If people want to get a hold of you, how do they get a hold of you?
You can give us a call at our office. You can
That
find us on
number
Facebook.
is
810-232-2278.
Zerka Properties.
Zerka Rental Homes.
How do you spell
Zerka
it?
Rental
Spell it
Homes.
for 'em.
ZERKA Rental Homes.
And can they find you
And
on
you can
Twitter,
find
Facebook?
you can find
or
us on Facebook too.
on Facebook
Yeah,
too.
if anybody's in the Genesee County area looking for a rental or the Flint area, he's
Or
got some
house to
available.
buy or
house
whatever
to
you
buy. They're moving up that way for work. Get a
Yep.
hold of Zerka Properties.
Yep.
And likewise, if you got anything in the Tri-County area, Macomb County, Oakland County, property that you inherited, something that you just want cash to be done with quick and want to cash offer, give me a call at 586-855-4041 or go to my Facebook page, Cash, the number 4, Your House Now. And as always, if you're looking to buy or sell a property, call the Raffin team at Remax First. Call Tony at his number.
586-773-4400 or find us on Facebook at the Raffin Team or go to our website, www.talktotony.com. And make sure that you subscribe down below, hit the button, follow, share, like, share this post with everybody. We are now officially on Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher, and what's the other one, Jess? SoundCloud.
Yeah, that one.
Did I hit them all?
SoundCloud.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Yeah, like the video, share it. Any
Yes,
comments?
please.
Any comments or questions?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
email us.
we actually had a bunch come in the last couple of weeks. We just haven't gotten around to. So I
Would-
think next week we might.
Yeah,
try
we'll
to
get next
touch on
next
those.
week. We'll get to some questions, but so next week's going to be more of a question and answer time. So if you can, just go on our page, our Fix It and Flip It page, inbox us. We'll answer your questions as everything we can for you next week. And
Until next time,
damn,
Next time.
we'll see you next.
we're doing
week.
good.
We'll see you next week.
We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Guys.
You've been listening to Fix It and Flip It with Tony Raffin
With
and
what?
Kevin McClellan. Be sure to stop by our Facebook page,
know. Ask
like it,
Jessica. She's
and
our
follow
producer.
us.
Y'all wanna come back and do this?
It's
It's
fun.
fun.
Dude, I have-
Arm yourself with the
Yeah.
tools and
Dude, I wanna come back and do it again.
strategies to become a successful
I'll
real
come back
estate
every week.
entrepreneur.
Let's go have a bite to eat.
This
Let's go
is
to
Fix It
what we do anyway.
and Flip It.
Anytime you want me to come back, I'm in.
I think he's great.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
It's just awesome to get a different area, different perspective. You know.
I'm gonna start sitting in with you guys once a week.
we would love to. Dude,
Would
you
you?
could just add right to it. You mean, he'd be right. What?